This is The Scoop for Thursday.
I'm Lisa Marzilli with the WMNF News headlines. Attorneys for condemned killer Frank Walls have gone to the U.S. Supreme Court in a last-ditch attempt to prevent his scheduled execution today. Walls was convicted in the 1987 murders of an Okaloosa County couple inside their home. If the execution is carried out, Walls would be a record 19th inmate put to death by lethal injection this year in Florida. Robin Marr with the national nonprofit Death Penalty Information Center says Florida is an outlier in the number of people executed this year, as well as the number of capital trials and new death sentences.
The rest of the country really continues to turn away from use of the death penalty. We saw that even in states that still permit use of the death penalty legally, many of them did not have a single capital trial this year.
The previous modern era record for executions in a year was 8 in both 1984 and 2014. Florida's black bear hunt kicked off December 6th. As WMNF's Chris Young reports, some are looking for answers on just how many bears have been killed so far.
The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission approved 172 permits for bear hunting after much pushback and controversy. The state has not responded to requests from news stations and members of the public regarding how many bears have been killed. Chuck O'Neill, president of animal advocacy group Speak Up for Wildlife, is still waiting on a response to his public records request.
This is a public hunt. Bears are a public asset, a treasured public asset of the citizens of Florida, and we have a right to know.
WMNF reached out to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission and did not receive a response by our deadline. Chris Young, WMNF News.
Florida professors, university faculty, and teaching assistants could soon be able to openly carry firearms on campus, thanks to a sweeping new measure filed by a Republican lawmaker. Sponsored by Senator Don Gates, SB 896, dubbed the School Safety Bill, would allow university employees, faculty, and students who are also working for a college to either openly carry or carry concealed weapons on campus. The Florida Phoenix reports, if passed, the bill would become one of the few Second Amendment expansion bills adopted in Florida since the Parkland massacre at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in 2018. It comes on the heels of a shooting at Brown University over the weekend and a shooting spree at Florida State University in April. The Tampa City Council is set to vote on new rules targeting riders on some of the city's busiest trails. 10 Tampa Bay reports city leaders say they've been flooded with complaints that bikes, scooters, and e-bikes are taking over spaces meant for pedestrians. The proposed ordinance would ban wheelies and tricks, limit riders to no more than 2 abreast, and lower the motorized speed limit on trails from 15 to 10 miles per hour. Fines would start at $25 and rise to $75 for repeat violations. Tampa City Councilwoman Naya Young cautioned, "We have to do something, but let's make sure we do it the right way." Council is expected to make a final decision on the proposal during its meeting today. A new report from the Florida League of Cities takes aim at efforts by lawmakers to eliminate property taxes in Florida. The study, which was commissioned by the University of Wichita, says ending property taxes would be bad news for the working class and would greatly harm smaller, more rural counties. Florida's chief financial officer, Blaise Angolia, criticized the report, saying the cities behind it just want to protect their bloated budgets. The state legislature is currently debating several proposals that could be on the ballot in November of 2026 for the voters themselves to weigh in on. Some would ban property taxes altogether, some would phase them out, and others would base them on factors like age. In weather, it's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 79 and a 40% chance for some scattered late-day rain. Lows tonight will be in the upper 60s, partly sunny and breezy on Friday with highs in the upper 70s. I'm Lisa Marzilli with the WMNF News headlines.
This is The Scoop, recorded at WMNF Tampa.